Subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss another video of Bhakti Charu Swami.
Stories there? Huh? No? Okay. So first you went to where? Tirkadam. And then Pavan Sarovar. Then Varshana. Okay. So Tirkadam, Kadam means Kadamba tree. Kadamba is a flower. It looks like a tennis ball. Like it has the inside saffron colored inside, and it has the petals actually spreads all over like a ball. It's around inside and all around. And there are two types of kadambas. One is regular kadamba and the other is Keli kadamba. Keli kadamba is a small ones. Have you all been to Srila Prabhupada's quarters here? When you go there, in the courtyard, in the garden, at the back of Prabhupada's quarters, there is one Keli kadamba tree. Kalindiro bone Keli kadambero. Kalindiro kule Keli kadambero bone. So that is, and Ter actually has two meanings. The word Ter means to call. And Ter also means bending. Tera. Is the tree straight? Is bending. So that is another reason. Mainly Krishna used to call the cows from there. Then at midday, Krishna used to call the cowherd boys there by playing his flute. Krishna used to call everyone by playing his flute. And at night, he used to call the gopis. So 3 times a day, Krishna used to call from Ter Kadamba tree. At the early stage, there's a beautiful pastimes. Gopashtami day is the day when Krishna went with his cows, calves. He was 5 years old and he was allowed to take out the calves for grazing. A 5-year-old boy, just as he exceeded his 5 and stepped into 6. And on the day of Gopashtami, that was the day when Krishna first went out with his horde of calves along with his friends. And that day, Mother Jashoda dressed Krishna up like a prince. And when Krishna came dressed up like a prince, gorgeous dress with a crown on his head, and so all his friends started to laugh. He said, "Look, he is going to take care of the cows. He's a cowherd boy, but look how he is dressed like a prince, as if he has become the king of this whole place. So they made Krishna take off all those gorgeous dress, and they dressed him up like a cowherd boy. And they collected all the flowers from the garden, forest garden, and decorated Krishna. And that is how their tending the cows, hoarding the cows pastimes began. That happened at that particular place, at Terkadam. Terkadam is situated between Nandagram and Javat. Nandagram is where Krishna was, Krishna's father is, Nanda Maharaj, and Jabat is the place where King Vrishbhanu's palace is, the father of Radharani. And so this is how and there is Rupa Goswami spent his some time there. He did his bhajan, he has his bhajan kutir in Terkadam, and he used to sit under that tree and chant the holy name, and he used to write also sitting under that tree. There is one beautiful pastimes that took place there. Like one day, when Rupa Goswami was there, Sanatan Goswami came. Rupa Goswami was very happy that his brother, whom he treated as his spiritual master, came. And he was thinking, I wish I could feed him nicely. But look, I don't have any arrangement. I wish I could make some sweet rice for him. And at that time, one little girl came with some milk and said, Baba, my mother sent me with this. What? Milk, rice, sugar candy. So Rupa Goswami was very happy that somehow his desire was fulfilled. But then he made some sweet rice and he served that to Srila Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami tasted it and he started to wonder, this sweet rice doesn't taste like of this world. It's really out of this world. So he naturally relished it and he asked Rupa Goswami, Rupa, how did you make this sweet rice? So Rupa Goswami narrated what actually happened. That when he came, he actually wished that he could make some sweet rice for him. And then this little girl came and gave him the sweet rice. I mean the rice, milk and rice. So he asked, Sanatan Goswami asked, so do you know this girl? Rupa Goswami said, no, I never seen her before. So Sanatana Goswami then told him, do you know who that was? That was Srimati Radharani. And instead of serving her, you took her service. So that made Rupa Goswami very much heartbroken, that he started to lament. Radharani came, I couldn't recognize her. Instead of serving her, I took service from her. So that is one wonderful pastimes that took place there with Srila Rupa Goswami. We can imagine how they were spending their times. They were, although they were very exalted personalities, they were the ministers of Nawab of Bengal, Nawab of Hussain Shah, but they left everything. Their exalted government position, very, very wealthy. For example, when Rupa Goswami left his service and decided to go to Vrindavan, he sent his wealth in the form of gold coins filled up in 3 boats, sent it to his ancestral house. A part of it, he divided it, half he was given to the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, 1/4 he kept for his family, gave it to his family members, and 1/4 he reserved for some future need. And for that future need, he kept 10,000 gold coins. Can you imagine 10,000 gold coins? And that was just a part of his assets. And that was used by Sanatana Goswami. He used 7,000 of that, not 10. He bribed the jailkeeper. 7,000. First he offered 5,000, then he increased it by another 2,000 and made the jailkeeper release him from the prison. And how did he release? Because if the king found out that he let Sanatana Goswami go out of the prison, then the king would have killed him. But Sanatana Goswami was so intelligent, he gave him the idea what to do. He said that you should tell the king that I went to the bank of the Ganges to evacuate with my chains, my hands and feet chained with iron shackles. And seeing Ganga, I just jumped into Ganga. And you searched for everywhere, but couldn't find me. This is how Sanatana Goswami bribed the prison keeper and escaped from the prison and went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, how he was living, how him and his brother Rupa Goswami living, they are living like mendicants. Takta turnam ashesha mandalapati shrenim. Giving up the association of unlimited kings and monarchs, mandalapati, kings and monarchs. Giving up the association of unlimited kings and monarchs. Takta turnam, very neglectfully, as if it didn't matter at all, it didn't mean anything, those associations. That exalted position as a king and so forth, exalted position as a minister, very opulent situation. Sada tuchhavat, as if it didn't mean anything at all. Tuchhavat. Takta turnam ashesha mandalapati shaning sada tuchhavat. Bhutva dina ganesha ko karunaya kopina kanthashrito. In order to bestow their mercy upon the suffering conditioned souls. Dina Ganesha ko karunaya, mercifully. Kopina kanthashrito. They just adorned themselves with who must have had about few 100,000 gold coins, giving up everything except that life. Why? Dina Ganesha ko karunaya, in order to bestow their mercy upon the suffering conditioned souls. And how did they spend their time? In Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajananandena Mattaliko. They're completely absorbed in serving the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajananandena. And that is how they are experiencing the joy of Krishna consciousness. Bhajananandena Mattaliko. Bande Rupa Sanatano Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalabhu. I worship Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Jiva Goswami. So these are the personalities who have adorned this sampradaya. Today someone came to meet me, devotee, who had a question. And the question was, in Vrindavan, many people, they say that our parampara is not bona fide. Because our parampara is not a parampara in according to Diksha. How many of you know that? How many types of paramparas are there? There are two types of paramparas. Diksha parampara and Shiksha parampara. And out of Shiksha and Diksha, which one is more important? I couldn't hear properly. Diksha? Okay. Yes, Shiksha is important. Like, I put it in this way. Diksha is like getting the admission. And Shiksha is attending the classes and getting the knowledge. Like, say, you got admitted in a very prestigious university, Cambridge. But if you don't attend the classes, will there be any benefit? So, the purpose of admission is to attend the classes and get the knowledge. So, in simple way, like we can say, the Diksha is like getting the admission in the Sampradaya, and Shiksha is the education. Now when we go back, when they say Diksha, they think sitting in fire sacrifice, getting a new name, getting a new bead. You all know that. Diksha. Now, when Krishna gave this knowledge to Brahma, did Krishna conduct a fire sacrifice? When Brahma gave this knowledge to Narad Muni, did he conduct a fire sacrifice and give an initiated name and a japamala? Narad, from now on this is your name. Huh? When Narad Muni gave this knowledge to Vasudev, did he conduct a fire sacrifice? So that's the first point. To defeat, to refute their, so-called attack on ISKCON. But I just told him, after telling that, what is my Brahmastra to defeat their point? Do you believe that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forecasted that Krishna consciousness movement would spread all over the world in every town and village? They can't deny that. That's in there. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. Prithibite ache joto nagoradi gram, sarvatra prachar hoibe mor naam. They can't deny that. So that is a prediction that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made. Hoibe mor naam will happen in future. That means Krishna consciousness movement will spread all over the world. Now the person who makes it happen, the person who makes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction a reality, is he in line with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or not? And that shuts them up. They can't say anything after that. So that is the thing. Like, what is the bona fide of our Sampradaya? Mahaprabhu's prediction has become a reality. Mahaprabhu's prediction has become fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, Prabhupada's line is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line. Whether you want to accept it or not, doesn't matter. And then the other question comes up along with that. You didn't save me. You didn't give me spiritual life. I'm talking about those people who are complaining. Srila Prabhupada gave. Therefore, my head has been sold out to him. I don't give a damn about who you are and what do you say. Anyway, just a thing that just came up. So I was... So the point here is Srila Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami had such wonderful pastimes here. There are such exalted personalities. The ministers gave up everything and they were leading the life under a Kadamba tree. He didn't build a house. Raghunath Das Goswami was on the bank of Radhakund. He was living there, doing his bhajan under a tree. One day Sanatana Goswami came and he saw that a tiger is drinking water from Radhakund. So those days it was all forest. Vrindavan was all forest. And Sanatana Goswami told him that build a house, at least a jhopdi for yourself. Because it's such a dangerous place. The tiger is here. Drinking water here. So that's how they lived here. Completely unsheltered. And they didn't even spend time under one tree. Different nights they used to go under different trees. So that they don't develop any attachment even to a tree. They were shifting from one place to another. They're drifting from one place to another. So, anyway, so that is how, just to remember a few things about Ter Kadam. All these trees are, that tree that you have seen, at least you can see, at least it's 5,000 years old. 5,000 years it's been standing there. And there's also a saying like why this tree became, the cowherd boys used to come, gather there, and let the cows roam, graze. And they used to tie their food on the tree, branch of the tree. And with the burden of that weight of the foodstuff, the tree bent. Another way, the tree bent down so that they could tie the thing on the branch and they could also easily access their food from the branch. So this is what Vrindavan is. Here Vrindavan, everything is conscious, everything is braj. Brajati, brajati. Braja means to move. Material nature is static. The spiritual world is dynamic. So braj in one way means dynamic. Nahi jatrapi brajati samaya. Here everything moves. The only thing that doesn't move is time. In the material nature, nothing moves, only thing moves is the time. In here, not only time moves. And other things you have to push to make it move. Moment of inertia, do you remember the law of motion? Anything that is in static condition, it wants to remain in static condition. In rest, it wants to remain in rest. We have to push it, we have to put energy, we have to put force in order to make it move. That's material nature. But in the spiritual nature, everything is unconscious, there everything is conscious. Movement is due to consciousness. And what kind of consciousness? It moves with Krishna consciousness, Krishna's consciousness. And so Krishna performed so many wonderful pastimes here. Like here everything is alive. Everything is literally alive here. The trees, as we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, who are these trees in Vrindavan? Those exalted sages who had been meditating, they became trees in Vrindavan, meditating on Krishna constantly. So trees are not just ordinary trees. The most exalted yogis, perfected yogis. They meditate, therefore they got the situation where in Vrindavan, in their meditation they can see Krishna directly. Here everything is animate. That's another expression we can use for Braj. Everything is animate, everything is alive. The land is alive. And what do the lands do? What do the land do here? As Krishna steps, they begin to sway in ecstasy. What does the rivers do? What does Jamuna do? When Krishna comes, they rush to embrace Krishna. So they are not inert matter or inert things. They're all living, all Krishna's intimate associates. That is what the spiritual world is. Everyone there is Krishna conscious. Everyone is deriving their joy out of their relationship with Krishna. So now you went to Pavan Sarovar, right? Pavan Sarovar was it was built or dug by Vishakha Devi's father, whose name is Pavan Gop. He constructed this Sarovar. Sarovar means a lake. Pavan, the word Pavan has another meaning. I'm sure all of you know that. Patit Pavan. Pavan means to deliver. So that Sarovar, that lake delivers. Just take a bath there and you'll get delivered. So I was asking whether you all took bath. So I heard you didn't because you were in a hurry. So that's another thing. Don't go to pilgrimage in such a hurry. Anyway, what to do, like you all are very, very busy people. You could only spare 3 weeks out of 52 weeks of a year. And so Pavan Sarovar is located north of Nandagram. And it's a custom to take bath in Pavan Sarovar before going to see Nanda Maharaj, Mother Jashoda up on the hill. And Krishna used to bathe in Pavan Sarovar with his friends. And on the other bank, Radharani used to bathe with her friends. And they used to, Krishna used to have his, he used to frolic, have his water pastimes with his friends. And Radharani also used to have bathe there. Sometimes you know what Krishna used to do? When Krishna would see that the gopis are taking bath on the other bank, other end of the lake. It's quite a large lake, yeah? At those days it must have been even larger. Because with time they shrunk, or they kind of, like for example when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Radhakund and Shamkund was lost. They looked like 2 puddles of waters in a paddy field. A little collected water in a paddy field. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recognized this is Shamkund, this is Radhakund. And so sometimes what Krishna would do, Krishna would swim underwater, go to the other end of the lake, and grab a gopi, a young girl, by her leg underwater and drag her down. And she would scream. And everyone would be worried that, oh, maybe a crocodile has attacked. So, this is how Krishna used to perform his pastime. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to do similar thing. When he used to go to at noontime, he was supposed to go to school. He was supposed to go to his guru's school. But somehow he used to bunk his classes. He used to go to Ganga with his friends. And okay, so let me just tell what he used to do. He used to see that young girls are worshipping Lord Shiva. Do you know why the girls, young unmarried girls, worship Lord Shiva? So that they can get a good husband. So while they were worshipping Lord Shiva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, little Nimai, just of 6, 7 years old at that time, would go to them and said, I know why you worship, who you are worshipping, and why you are worshipping. But let me tell you, Mahesh, who you are worshipping, is my servant. And if you want a good husband, then you worship me. I will fulfill your desire. You'll have a husband who is as handsome as Kartikeya, or as handsome as Cupid, as wealthy as Kubera, as famous like that he would, as famous as Lord Ramchandra. So this is how he would kind of tease them. And the girls used to be very upset. Nimai, what are you saying? And some girls used to run away from there with their paraphernalia for worship. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, those who don't offer me that worship, they'll get a husband with 4 co-wives. And he'll be old and ugly. And the girls will become very worried and afraid, and they would come and offer their thing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to in Ganges those days used to be separate bathing place for men and women. Women used to go in one area, men used to go in another area. So he used to take the clothes of men, put it on the side of the women. Take the clothes of the women, put it on the side of the men. And when they would come out of the water and they would see, and they were so embarrassed what to do, like they can't wear, that men couldn't wear saris. And women couldn't wear dhotis. And then he would go into the water. Some Brahmana was chanting Gayatri, standing in water, half submerged in water. And he would tell them, upon whom you are meditating on, see, he is standing in front of you. And they would also couldn't understand what he's talking about, this little boy. They used to think it's such a offensive attitude this boy has developed. And when they would kind of express their anger and discontentment, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take water in his mouth and spray it on their body. And they would think that, oh, I took my bath and he contaminated. So again they would go to take their bath. And sometimes what he would do, somebody is chanting Gayatri, half submerged in the Ganga, and he would go, grab him by his leg and pull it underwater. And the person would be afraid that, oh, some crocodile is, and they shout out, help, help. So this is how Nimai used to also play his naughty pastimes in his childhood. So Krishna also used to do that. The only difference is Nimai used to do it with the elderly brahmanas, but Krishna used to do that with the young gopis. And everyone saw how he was expert in killing the demons and saving them from all kinds of abnormal situations. So that is how wonderfully Krishna used to perform his pastimes. On the bank of Pavan Sarovar, King Vrishbhanu built a palace for Srimati Radharani. And also these young girls, when Krishna with his friends would play in the water, they would watch them from that building, that palace. And so this is how this is how Krishna performed his pastimes in these two very important spots where he visited today, Ter Kadam and Pavan Sarovar. Then you all went to Varshana. Varshana is the palace of King Vrishbhanu. Srimati Radharani was born as the daughter of King Vrishbhanu and Kirtida Sundari, his wife. When she was born, everyone was enchanted by her beauty. Like everyone felt that this is an unusually beautiful girl. Who this is? Is this some demigod appeared as Vrishbhanu's daughter? Is this Lakshmi Devi herself? The people were considering, because of her beauty was so unusual. But they noticed that this girl is blind. Her eyes are closed. Even though the child was blind, but King Vrishbhanu was happy that he got such a beautiful daughter. And he had a grand celebration to mark her appearance day. And that is Radhashtami day, at midday, Radharani appeared. And so when Mother Jashoda got the news that Kirtida, her friend, has given birth to a beautiful daughter, she came with Rohini, and two mothers carried their two children, Krishna Balaram. And they were just talking and they were just comparing that. This Kirtida said, "Your boy is so handsome, so beautiful." And Jasoda said, "Your daughter is so beautiful." But Kirtida, although didn't say anything, but she had this heavy feeling in the heart. It's true, this girl is so beautiful, but she's blind. And in this way, they were exchanging the children. Mother Joshua said, "Let me take your daughter, please." And Kirtida said, "Okay, take your daughter, but give me your son to me." And this way they were, and then they placed both of them together. And as they placed Krishna next to Radharani, as if her face turned towards Krishna by her side, and her eyes bloomed like two beautiful lotuses. And everyone was enchanted. Like, this boy has such unusual ability. And at that time, Mother Purnamashi, Jogamaya, she came. And she said, "Yes, indeed, this boy is unusual. See, he can give even eyes to a blind person. Even in his childhood, he is giving eyes, and who knows what is he going to do when he grows up. As a little child, he is giving eyes to a blind one." But what was actually the matter? Radharani was not interested to see anything. You remember why Radharani came? When Krishna assured Brahma that I am coming to rescue to save the situation in the earth planet, consoling Mother Earth in the form of a cow, then Radharani fainted. With just the thought that Krishna will go away for some time, she just fainted. So Krishna then assured her, don't worry, you'll also come with me." "No, I don't want to go there." Earth planet, Bhumandal, material nature, give me a break. Krishna said, "Okay, I'll send a part of Vrindavan over there." So that's how Vrindavan was sent, and that's how Radharani came. And when Radharani came here, Radharani came as a little child, little baby, as the daughter of King Vrishbhanu and Queen Kirtida. But she was not interested to see anything in this world. She didn't want to see anyone other than Krishna. So that's why her eyes were closed until she got the opportunity to see Krishna. So this is how Radharani is attached to Krishna. This Radha Krishna's pastimes are not ordinary happenings. We have to recognize that when we are dealing with Radharani and Krishna, we are dealing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His pleasure potency. Yesterday I mentioned, when you go to the place of these holy places of Krishna's pastimes, go there with a very, very pure and special attitude, that you are actually going to see the place where the Supreme Personality of Godhead enacted His pastimes 5,000 years ago. If we came here 5,000 years ago, we could have seen these pastimes. But doesn't matter because we didn't really lose that opportunity. Krishna created that opportunity for us by appearing as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we can go back to His eternal pastimes in the spiritual world. All we have to do is follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footsteps. All we have to do is to act according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions. Then the rest will happen. The gate of Braja, gate of Vrindavan will open up. Therefore, when we come to Vrindavan, we must develop that consciousness that this is the land where, this is the land that is non-different from the spiritual world. This is a land which is an extension of the spiritual sky. Yesterday I gave the example of an embassy. So Vrindavan is actually, in a way, is the embassy of the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. When you go to an embassy, do you go to an embassy for sightseeing? Why do you go to an embassy? To get a visa, right? So similarly, when you come to Vrindavan, you come with an attitude of getting a visa. For which country? Golok Vrindavan. So please take full advantage of this beautiful opportunity that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has created for us, Krishna has created for us. So, does anybody have any question?
I have a small question about what I did today. Maybe it is abroad, so that's why I wanted to ask you if it is possible. Yesterday and today, with permission, I asked if can I have a little bit of dust at the places where we went. And I collected dust of all the places where we went.
Okay.
And today Maharaja also told us better not to take it back home, because this is dust from Vrindavan and Vrindavan's dust want to stay over here. The reason I took it is because I remembered your lecture, I think, about when Rukmidas Prabhu, our latest godfather, when he passed away, then you said in your lecture to have a little bit of dust on the body, and that is what I remembered. So maybe I did some abroad, I have that little bit of dust with me, but I will leave it, and Please can you explain to us?
Okay, so tomorrow tomorrow you can ask Maharaj that I'm carrying some dust. If somebody is leaving his body, so that I can give it to his mouth. Okay. Okay, that's all right. I mean, that understanding is with Govardhan Shila. I didn't know about the Vrindavan. Dust had that kind of condition. Like, anyway, you can speak to Maharaj. Like, because, yes, we carry the dust, we carry Ganga water, we carry Jamuna water, we carry Radha water. Because the devotees were in far off land, so that we can, at the time of leaving the body, so that we can give it to them. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Any other question? You want a question? Yeah?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Mine's a very basic question. So we've been visiting all of these temples, and obviously we've known since we joined ISKCON that Krishna wears yellow, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wears yellow.
Krishna wears
yellow dhoti, wears a yellow dhoti, and Balram wears blue dhoti, and similarly with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So I wanted to know if there was a backstory or a significance to the colors, if there was, Devaki, Mataji, if there was a reason that she chose these colors, or just the backstory basically.
Well, to tell you frankly, I don't know. Like, all I know is, Krishna always wear yellow dhoti. Pita patambara sobhe. Pahirana pita patambara sobhe. So he wears Krishna, and because Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he also wears yellow. Balaram wears blue, and therefore Nityananda Prabhu also is wearing blue, because he is none other than Balaram. Now why? I don't know Krishna's mind. Or I didn't actually come across this particular issue in any scripture. Okay? Okay, Raghav.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It's a question about yesterday's lecture. I hope you don't mind me asking as well. We were talking about yugas, the Chatur yugas, and during this time of talking about yugas, I was wondering why the yugas were actually created, why they were there.
No, say it again, I couldn't.
Why were the yugas created? Why do they exist?
Why? What exists?
Yugas.
Yugas. It's a time cycle. The movement of time is measured that way. You get it? Like, say for example, second. After a second, another second comes. Then 60 seconds make a minute, right? Then 60 minutes make an hour. 24 hours a day. 30 days a month. 12 months a year. It goes like that. Year, then it goes further, and it comes to yugas, one of the largest cycles. Then there are 4 yugas, like Kali Yuga has certain duration, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga. So this is how the time goes, and then goes ultimately, thousands such Chatur Yugas make a day of Brahma. According to that calculation, Brahma has his years, 365 days of Brahma make a year. and Brahma lives for 100 years. And that's the duration of this universe. As long as Brahma is here, the universe will be there. When Brahma's time comes to leave, the universe will dissolve. So this is the progression of time. Does it answer your question?
Yes, in a way. It's duration of time, I understand. Why are they different?
Different
example,
means?
We have Kali Yuga, and in Satya Yuga the people are very big.
Okay. You see, the time has effect on living entities. Right? Like certain type of living entities come at certain period because of the condition of that period. So those who are very pious, they come in Satya Yuga. Then when people commit sinful activities, then next stage is Treta Yuga. Next stage is Dwapar. And the ultimate stage is Kali Yuga. The hopeless stage is Kali Yuga, but the Kali Yuga has an extremely fortunate situation. Although it is a most hopeless, the stage of most sinful living entities. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave Krishna consciousness. Holy name. In one hand is the most degraded period, at the same time is the most fortunate phase. Okay, so are you going to take advantage of that? You better do.
100% Maharaja.
Good. Yeah, Shubham, I'll take you afterwards. There.
Krishna Bhagavan, thank you so much for expounding on the nice explanations of the Dham. Today we were supposed to visit Prem Sarovar, but we went out of time. So I was wondering if time permits, you can give us some information about that, please.
Prem Sarovar. Prem Sarovar, yeah, I have to. Like today, let's stick to just what is.
Sometime later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Gurumaj, thank you for amazing class. It's not to do with the class today or yesterday, so if time permits you can answer. The question was, when Krishna left his pastimes at the end of Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, just wanted to hear about that, if possible.
What, Krishna left his
pastime, because Raga was asking, and I didn't know the details of how the hunter had shot Krishna's foot. So I just wanted to, if possible.
Well, that's a pastime, Just as Krishna's coming is out of his own sweet will, Krishna's departure also took place out of his own sweet will. And by Krishna's pastimes has one amazing or very interesting aspect. His pastimes intensifies the love of the devotees and intensifies the hatred of the demons. The devotees rejoice with his pastimes, but the non-believers, they find reasons not to believe in Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, their point is, see, he just died being shot by a hunter. So, see, he cannot be Supreme Personality of Godhead. But how do the devotees look at it? You see, there is a temple in South India, in Chennai. It's called Parthasarathi Temple. The deity there, Krishna actually, after the battle of Kurukshetra, they say that Krishna came there. And his whole body is pierced, his whole body is kind of as if, like been shot by arrows. The arrow mark of that arrows, are there. The full body. And that's what was happening with Krishna at the battle. He was a charioteer of Arjuna. But like when they're shooting arrows, innumerable arrows pierced his body also. But he was not affected. And those were not the arrows made of a hunter who just kind of made it out of a, small little piece of iron or steel. Those were arrows, million times more powerful by the mantra. Those arrows could not affect Krishna. Not only one, but thousands of such arrows. And Krishna left and that also not in his heart, on his toe. And Krishna left his body. You see how, what should I say, like how, how wonderful it is, right? Krishna comes with his own sweet will. Ajopi san abbayatma, bhutanam ishwaropi san, prakriting sham adhishtaya, sambhavami atmamayaya. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that I am unborn, Aja. Although I am unborn, abbayatma, although I am inexhaustible, but I manifest myself with my internal potency. Through the agency of my internal potency. Prakriting sham adhishtaya, sambhavami, I manifest myself. So Krishna's appearance is out of his own sweet will, and his departure also is from his own sweet will. When a soul dies, it was a question of Krishna dying, right? Who is the source of all souls. So that's the difference between a devotee's perception and an atheist's perception. And through the pastimes, the devotee's love for Krishna increases, and through these pastimes, the atheist's doubts about Krishna's identity increases. So those things don't bother the devotees. Let what a madman doesn't say, right? There's a saying, what a madman won't say and what a goat doesn't eat. So, another expression is, let the dogs bark, caravan will pass. Let those dogs bark. But the caravan doesn't care about that. We don't know about caravans, at least we can say the passing car doesn't bother about the barking of the cars, the barking of the dogs. Okay, Shubham.
Thank you, Karuna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the amazing class. I have 3 questions, but I'll ask how many ever you permit me to ask. My first one is Yoga Maya. I understood was Subhadra Maharani, but is also Purnamasi. Can you explain if one of the understanding is incorrect?
Yeah. In Jagannath Puri or Dwarka, Subhadra Devi. And in Vrindavan, she is Purnamasi. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Second question was, you mentioned that between Shiksha and Diksha, Shiksha is higher. Why
Not higher, more important.
Why is there an emphasis on Diksha still? Or how do we perceive it?
When it comes to considering our parampara, we are not giving importance to Diksha. Like, as I mentioned, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was not initiated by Jagannath Das Babaji. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj not initiated by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Then why we are drawing the line? Because the shiksha or the understanding, spiritual understanding is flowing through them. That is what, so a classic example actually is in that respect. Bhakti Vinod Thakur's initiating guru was not Jagannath Das Babaji, but Bipin Bihari Goswami. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur didn't accept him. Why? Because Bipin Bihari Goswami didn't give the Divya Gyan to Bhakti Vinod Thakur. The Divya Gyan was given by Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So it is the Guru, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. He is the Guru who gives the Divya Gyan, the transcendental knowledge. That's the line. Not the formality of initiation. Right? And in ISKCON also, our emphasis is not on Diksha. Our emphasis is on Srila Prabhupada's Shiksha. Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru of all the devotees of ISKCON for all time. And we are seeing that. There have been so many instances where the Guru has fallen down. But the disciple remained, that disciple of that fallen Guru remained loyal to Srila Prabhupada's teachings, Prabhupada's lotus feet. And their spiritual life is intact. They are making amazing spiritual progress. So isn't that an indication that Diksha is not the most important thing? That what really matters is the Divya Gyan and practicing the Divya Gyan. So, time and time again we are seeing that Diksha is not important. I mean, Diksha is important, but is not that important. Like as I gave you the example just a little while ago. See, you got admitted to Oxford or Cambridge, but you don't attend the classes. Is there any benefit of that admission? No. So, admission is important only for the sake of getting the shiksha, getting the knowledge. But admission without the knowledge is a waste of time. It's just a, vain formality. Okay, at the back, like here's a question. Yes.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. It's a lovely class. Have two points. We went to Varsana today. It's so many people asking for money. It's like pushing, and am I doing an offense if I don't reciprocate?
If you don't give the money?
Yeah, if I don't give what they want, they ask me for money or things. If I don't give it to them, am I doing an offense to them? Is that an offense? There's so many coming to me asking for things. So I'm not doing an offense.
You see, in India, generally people, when they go to some holy places, and when they know that many people will be asking some money, they carry some small coins with them, so, or some small notes so that they can give. Actually, it's better not to make the Dhambasis unhappy. They're Dhambasis, and if they're happy just getting some little dakshina, getting donation, make them happy.
Thank you, Maharaj. And I have a second question. Yesterday you did the lecture about the yugas and talking about the circle of the yuga, and then we are on the 28th. So the 4 yugas, and the last yuga is Kali Yuga. So yeah, I just try to understand. So it's talking about the yuga. So once the 4 yugas finish, and then we come to Kali Yuga, and then Kali Yuga also finish, and then come back to the first yuga. How is that change from the worst thing situation to the best situation, like from Kali Yuga to...
Because when the Kali Yuga ends, then Kalki Avatar will kill all the demoniac individuals, and only the saintly people will survive, and with them Satya Yuga will begin.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay. Vinod Bihari, give the mic to... Okay, got it.
Hare Krishna, good morning. Thank you very much for a wonderful class. I have 2 questions. One is about Vrindavan. Like we see Vrindavan, the locals and the residents of Vrindavan, they have too much attachment for Radharani, you know? Like the very fact you go everywhere, they're saying Radhe, Radhe, and their attitude towards Krishna is something like, well, he's there, but the principle is Radharani.
That is something that we don't understand and we don't try to understand. That is their attachment. And not only Srila Prabhupada, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned Jagadananda Pandit that when you come to Vrindavan, be very careful. Don't try to criticize the Dhambasis, Brajabasis. So that's why our attitude should always be, okay, you are attached to Radharani, very good. And we want to see Krishna with Radharani. We also don't want to see Krishna alone. And their approach to Radharani is also so that they can, by her mercy, they can get Krishna.
But then again, in many centers, I mean, in ISKCON centers, when we do the kirtans or bhajans, then it's like we are supposed to be chanting only the Mahamantra, emphasize more Mahamantra, and when any time like we introduce some rhythms or some songs or rhymes about Radharani, then we are asked to continue more in detail, just focus.
That is because we don't want to see Radharani alone without Krishna. Our understanding is Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna. Radharani, we want to see Radharani with Krishna, and Krishna with Radharani. Our heart aches to see Radharani alone. When Krishna doesn't come in time to meet Radharani, Radharani is feeling sad, we cry due to seeing her broken heart. That is our understanding, that's our mood. Right? That's why we don't say just Radharani's name alone.
Yeah. And another last question was about this pastime about Sanatana Goswami. He had 10,000 coins, golden coins, was left to him by 1/4, of which he gave 7,000 to the jail keeper, prison keeper. But then that means 3,000 still were left with him.
But then, like what we have heard or read is like he was only having the 10 coins that he moved later on with the servant, and then
that shows that even his servant was so rich that he could carry 8 coins with himself when Sanatana Goswami told him not to carry anything with him.
And then what happened with the 3,000 coins?
I don't know. Yes, phone is not, the mic is not working. Switch it on.
The first place we went to, the Kadamba tree, he mentioned when Krishna is sitting in the tree playing this flute, and when there's the feeling of separation, everything dries up and, you know, it's like everything's dying. And then when you feel the association with Krishna again, the trees start to bloom their leaves, flowers and fruits. Can you maybe just explain a little like how we shift from one to the other state of feeling?
Well, when your mood changes, does your appearance change? Right? With your mood, your appearance changes. In the physical, gross physical context, it is not that visible. But in the spiritual context, it is extremely perceivable. Like their sadness, makes their leaves dry out due to separation. And their jubilation makes the tree becomes full of flowers. And honey starts dripping from them. Yes, Hemagari.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your wonderful explanation of the Dham. What I noticed is that we've been here almost a month now, and all the very, very important places that Dham, like we went today to Varsana and yesterday we went to Mathura and all, the deities over there are, isn't there any, like how in comparison to ISKCON temples, we have so much opulence.
We don't understand them. We don't understand, their activities, their way of thinking, and we simply accept that, whatever you do is perfect, and we just have a respectful attitude towards you. Okay, so then we can have a little kirtan today. There is one question, yeah. Divaradhika had a few questions. She actually sent the question at first. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. During the changes in Yugas, from Satta to Dwapar, Dwapar to Treta, and Treta to Kali, is the transition seamless, or is there a specific event that takes place to mark its changes? Actually, there is some mark called Yuga Sandhi, the conjunction of two Yugas. There are certain incidents that take place, Like for example, from Kali, when it will turn into, say, the Dwapar to Kali, Krishna's disappearance. And when Krishna went, Dharma Jnana Adhivisaha. When Krishna went, left this planet, Dharma, Jnana, etc. Also left with him. So that means a dark period prevailed at that time. And Kali entered. And now we are seeing. But fortunately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to reverse that situation. But at the end, what will happen? Kalki Avatar will annihilate. Most of the people will become demoniac. Most of the people at the end of Kali will become demoniac. And they'll be, Kalki Avatar will slaughter them all. And only the saintly personalities will be protected. And with them, the change will come in. Satyuga will come. Yeah. Thank you.